Commissioner, thank you. It's a privilege to be here. SEC Media Days. You know, as I think about year 3 for us, I think about taking the next step, and that's what it's all about this fall. And as we talk about taking the next step inside our program, I think back to the beginning of January and where everything started to give us the opportunity to go change the outcome and do what we're trying to do this fall. And as you think about January, probably the thing that I'm most proud of since walking in the door in Starkville is the fact that we were able to retain the way we retained this past portal window. And the 3 guys that are with me today, a huge piece of that, but a lot of layers inside our locker room that chose to be a part of what we're doing, because there's great belief, there's great confidence, there's great energy, focus, and edge on going to chase it and putting our best foot forward to get ready to go win games. As we talked about retention, then it was player acquisition. It was being able to go address the needs that we had, both lines of scrimmage and in our secondary. We were able to get that done, and excited about those groups as we're now, just 2 weeks away from being able to be back on the grass and get ready to go practice. Another big thing for us in the offseason was staffing. And there's been a ton of talk about bringing back Zach Arnett as our defensive coordinator. What he's done for me and for us on that side of the ball since January has been huge. His experience, the play calling ability, and him being able to create stress for the other side of the ball is something that we needed in a great way. Alongside Matt Brock, co-defensive coordinator and linebacker coach, another guy that, again, has called defense in our league, that has great experience, that has been another great asset for us inside our walls. And then on the offensive side, adding over 25 years of experience from a coordinator standpoint with, you look at Philip Montgomery and you look at Kevin Johns, both guys that have called plays for a really long time, have had a ton of success, and bring an incredible amount of experience to our room offensively, which has been great. So we're going to keep talking about it. We're 2 weeks away. Great confidence in what we've got going inside our walls. I think as you talk to our 3 guys that are here today, they're going to be a great voice for us and the belief and the energy that's happening inside our walls. So again, incredibly grateful to be here. With that, I'll open it up.
Thank you, Coach Lebby. If you have a question, raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you. We're going to start here, Lauren, here in the center aisle, about halfway back.
Hey, Coach. Nick Laza from WOG in Athens, Georgia. You've made it a priority on offense to win with speed. Can you tell us a little bit how Marquise Johnson attributes to that methodology?
Yeah, Marquise is a guy that does. He's got great top end. He's a guy that he can stretch the field. What I'm excited about in that room is the depth in that room. There's an incredible amount of competition, and that's going to be fun to see sort out through fall camp. So got some real tools inside that room where there'll be great competition.
Okay, we'll stay in the center aisle, just over on the other side.
Coach, Hunter Dawkins, the Gazebo Gazette, Super Talk, Mississippi News. Coach, your offensive line doesn't have a whole lot of experience, but you being a former offensive lineman, talk to me about having a dual threat quarterback and what you're teaching the schemes or strategy for the offensive line.
Yeah, for us, as we're building that offensive line right now and continuing to develop it as we sit here today, we're in a much better spot than we were a year ago today. We've got very capable people inside that room. I was saying it earlier, but we've got 6 guys that I'm incredibly excited about having the ability to go play winning football for us. Being able to continue to develop the depth in that room, that's going to be huge, even the next 2 weeks and then into fall camp, so that we do have the depth that we need. We're going to be able to do it all up front, though. We've got to have great balance. That's going to be a huge part of our success.
Coach, we'll go down in front of me in section, 3rd row.
Good afternoon, Coach Lebby. I'm Jelena with Jelena Porter Communications. It's nice to see you today. So you are going into your 3rd season with the Bulldogs. They say 3rd time's the charm. So first things first, what gives you the most confidence going into this year versus the past 2 seasons? And just an aside, Mississippi as a whole, as we know, has made a lot of national news lately. So I just like you to shed some light on what's so special about Starkville, or Stark Vegas, as y'all like to call it, I hear, and why you and your players enjoy being there.
Yeah, the first part of the question, the thing that creates the most confidence for me is our roster. Our roster is in a much better place than it's been the last 2 seasons, so that immediately gives you a chance to upgrade and change the outcome. think the next thing that I'm, again, most excited about, that I've already talked about a little bit, is just the retention. So guys being back that had to live some of the things that we lived last year and go through some of the things that we went through. And I hate using the word, but being close and having the ability to go change the outcome and take that next step as a program, but be able to change the outcome on those Saturday afternoons. So great confidence starts with the roster and the retention of the guys that we needed to come back. The thing that makes Starkville so special is the people. There's great connection, there's great community, there's great support, and there's a lot of love in a small college town where people are pulling the rope the same direction. And I love that. I love it for my kids and for my wife to be able to be there in such a cool community. And it's how I was raised, it's how I grew up, and same thing for my wife. So that's why it's special to us.
Okay, we'll go back down the center aisle to our right-hand side.
Hey, Coach. Brian Shapiro, Columbia, Missourian. You talk about taking that next step as a program, but during the midseason this year, you have a really tough stretch, starting with Alabama and then 3 straight road games in very hostile environments. What would you consider successful during that stretch to help you get to that next step?
Yeah, I haven't thought about necessarily that stretch. We've got a 12-game regular season schedule that is incredibly difficult. And so for us, it's about truly being able to reset one at a time. And everybody says it, but it's such a real thing as you live it. And then you look up on Sunday morning and you hope you had the outcome that you had on Saturday, and man, you're ready to get right back to work and go chase it for that next Saturday. So as we look at it, every single week is going to create challenge. It's about how we handle it. It's about how we prepare to give us a chance to go execute and go win.
Okay, we'll stay in the section over to our right-hand side, about 3/4 of the way back.
Hey, Coach. Landon Tucker, MPW Digital. Some of your players went somewhat viral with a TikTok dance recently. I was wondering, is there a scenario or maybe even a win total that would somehow get you in one of those videos with them?
Absolutely not. Ask Kelly.
If you have a question, raise your hand. We'll get a microphone. We'll bring one up here, 4th row to Barry.
Yeah, Jeff Barry Trammell from the Tulsa World. You guys ran it pretty good last year, but a lot of teams didn't, a lot of traditionally strong teams. Something going on with college football defenses now that are sort of clogging up the running game for a lot of people?
I think, and again, in this league, I think the lines of scrimmage and what is going on in the defensive lines, along with scheme, has made it really hard for people to line up and just go run the football in traditional ways. I think you've got to put air in the defense. I think you've got to scheme to set your guys up for success. And I think the defensive lines, again, in this league and how people are cutting the front and changing structurally makes it really, really hard to be able to go execute from play 1 to play 75 and run the football the way you need to. But that's going to be critical for us. We're going to have to run the ball really, really well, want to be explosive in the run game, but we're going to have to be great situationally and get done what we want to get done.
Hey, Coach, we'll go back over here to our right-hand side, over to the right.
Over here. Hey, Coach. Brad with College Sportscast. You talked about bringing Zach Arnett back into the fold. Just run through the process of how that happened and just bringing him back into Mississippi State.
Yeah, the biggest thing for me was wanting to add a piece inside that defensive staff room to be able to go run it that had ran it, that had called it inside this conference. That's what I wanted first, and had the experience of being a defensive coordinator and having to adjust and understood the grind of what we do every single week. Obviously, Zach has that, and I coached against him, didn't enjoy going against him. He made it really, really hard. And that, for me, was just another great stamp and a check-the-box situation where I knew what I was getting. And I've talked a ton about being the aggressor, being able to affect the quarterback, creating negative plays. He's done that. And he has been awesome in the building. He's been great from a leadership standpoint on that side of the ball for us. And I feel like it does free me up in a great way, which has been awesome.
Okay, we'll go in the section in front of me, about 3/4 of the way back.
Hey, Coach. Chris Marler, Louisiana Sports.net. I had a follow-up to the TikTok question, but I'm not going to do that to you. Kamario Taylor last year put up video game numbers in his 2 starts at the end of the season. What's his ceiling this year, and what's one thing he has to work on most going into the season?
Yeah, I don't necessarily put a ceiling on K1. He's a special young man. He's a special talent, but he's a special young man. We're going to be incredibly aggressive from an install standpoint, the way this guy retains, the way he goes about his business on the day-to-day to be able to prepare to put himself in position to go have success in between the white lines. It's elite. And that's one of the things I'm probably most excited about. For him, I would like to think that if you asked him his number 1 goal this year, the first thing is to start a minimum of 13 games. That means stay healthy. That means not take unnecessary hits and finding ways to get down, to get out of bounds, and understanding it's about the next play. So I'm incredibly excited. I'm proud of who he is and how he's led. For being a young guy, man, he doesn't act young, and he does. He got a big-time future, and really excited about what he's going to be able to do for us.
If you have a question, raise your hand. We've got a couple microphones out there we can get to you. All right. Anyone have any additional questions? There's one right here in the center.
Hey, Coach Craig Stevenson, AL.com. Fluff Bothell was a guy that split carries last year with Booth. Booth's now gone. Do you foresee Fluff being the main guy in terms of workload this year? And who might, can he handle, I guess, the full-time load if that's the case?
Yeah, I do. I think Fluff will be the guy for us that takes the bulk of the carries. I also love the depth in that room with Colin Wilson, Xavier Gayton, and a couple of young guys that we've added to the roster that got here in January. So really excited about that room, specifically Fluff, as he's had a great spring and a great summer and ready to go have a big year.
We've got one over here on our right-hand side. Yeah.
Coach Jake McMahon with the Commercial Dispatch in Columbus, Mississippi. Talk about your strategy recruiting in the portal this offseason and sort of how you were able to bring in guys who already had some SEC experience to your program and what that means.
Yeah, when you start those conversations, it's about opportunity, what their opportunity looks like as they get in the double doors and understanding where we need to upgrade. I've mentioned it, but both lines of scrimmage in the secondary, I think guys understood that when they walked in the door, if they're transferring in with some playing time, they were going to be guys that had the ability to go compete and win a job, and that's where it started. So I like who we were able to acquire in the portal window, and we'll see once we put the ball down here in a couple weeks.
Okay, we'll go over here to our left-hand side, third row.
Hey, Jeff. Nick Douglas with Elite Media Network. What is going and getting a player like A.J. Swan, a veteran in that quarterback room with Kamario being the presumed starter? What does A.J. bring to that room? Yeah, just experience. A guy that's lived it. He's done it. He's been a lot of different places. He's been through a lot of different schemes, a lot of different coordinators. So he's a guy that does. He creates real depth for us at that position, which is absolutely critical for us right now. So like where AJ is, again, the biggest thing for me was a guy that had lived it and done it and played a bunch of ball, and he's done that.
We'll go in the section in front of me towards the back of the room.
Chris Marler again. You go to Minnesota in week 2. They're top 10 in the country in returning production. How big of a game is that for y'all in general, but also maybe for the optics of the SEC in that early non-conference?
Yeah, it will be a huge game, just like every one of them on Saturday afternoon this fall. But that one, obviously, as we go on the road week 2, it'll be a huge game. We're going to fight our butt off to go represent the SEC the right way in our state and obviously Mississippi State. So that'll be a big one.
We'll go all the way to the back corner on our left.
Hey, Coach. Tony Marks from the Athletic Gazette. You guys play LSU this year for the first time in several years. So what does it mean to you to go to LSU and play Tiger Stadium, and what kind of environment do you expect this year?
Yeah, it will. It'll be a great environment like it always is there. Another incredible challenge as we go play, and I believe it's an 11 a.m. kick there that Saturday morning. But, again, for our guys to be able to go into these different venues and be able to, go compete at the highest level in some of the best venues in the world is man, it's special. Our guys are incredibly grateful and thankful for the opportunity. But that one, just like every other one, we're going to be fighting our tail off to go win. So it'll be a great Saturday morning.
We have a question over here on our right-hand side alongside the wall.
Hey, Coach, David Gibson, WJTV in Jackson. I see you have a 4-game tough stretch. What's your mindset going into those games, LSU, Oklahoma, Texas?
Yeah, again, for us it is, and mentioned it earlier, but it's truly 1 week at a time. I mean, if you try to think about the entirety of it, you can get lost in it. So it's going to be about week 1, September 5th, being able to put an incredible product on the field at Davis Wade as a home opener, and then we'll reset and be ready to roll that next week as we go up to Minnesota. So 1 week at a time, week by week. It sounds like coach talk, but it's a real thing.
Okay, we'll go in the section in front of me, about halfway back. Robert.
Yeah, Coach. Robert Sessa, the Bryan College Station Eagle. Since Tyne Warren's a local boy for Bryan, just what do you feel he brings to your program?
Yeah, again, I'll talk a ton about experience. I love Ty's experience. As an incredible college player and then an elite NFL player, and then as he's transitioned into being, a great defensive line coach. So had great familiarity with Ty, really excited about his addition to the staff. Our guys love him, and I think it's great for those guys in the interior to be able to look at a guy and say, okay, this is what it's supposed to look like, and he knows what it's supposed to look like. So been a great addition to the staff.
If you have a question, raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you. We've got one in the back. We'll get a microphone to Drew there. Thank you.
Coach Drew DeArmond, WZZN Radio, Huntsville, Alabama. I wanted to ask about a kid from my state, near my area, Fluff Bothwell. I know he had a good year for you last year, but was banged up. What are your expectations for him, and what do you think he can accomplish this year for Mississippi State?
Yeah, I think he's got an opportunity to accomplish a lot. Again, he was banged up, played really, really well against Tennessee. He got banged up that next week and ended up not having him for a couple of weeks. He's done a great job with his body and putting himself in position, to feel better than he's ever felt, and excited about his ceiling and what he's got a chance to go do.
Any additional questions? We'll get a microphone to you. All right, Coach Lebby, thank you for your time this afternoon.
Appreciate it. Thank you all. Hail State.